wherever you are in the world. Good day, good people, good day, and welcome to Wow, Wish Only Well Live TV show, where I am your host, SherVonne Grose, marriage and family therapist, inspirational coach, and motivational speaker. It's Wednesday, guys. It is a wonderful Wednesday indeed. And you know what we do on Wednesdays, right? We wow. And by wow, I mean to wish only well all across the world. Listen, I am super excited about my special guest who's already backstage and ready to come out and get the conversation started. Of course, right? She's known for having conversations. So I can't wait to chat it up with her here on the Wow TV show. So, guys, you know what we do. We like to do justice by properly introducing our guests. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my guest that's in the studio with me today. Okay. Her name is Celena Thomas. She is the proud mother of two exceptional young men, Sean and Joshua, and fur mom to Rollo. Sean is pursuing a software engineering degree at Mississippi State University, and Joshua is pursuing a sports medicine degree at Southwest Mississippi Community College. Celena Thomas is a native of Picayune, Mississippi, and currently resides there. She is the host of Conversations with Celena and the owner of 4C and Company LLC. She is also a human resources specialist with the Department of Navy. Selena's $1 million smile is captivating and contagious, and to know her is to love her. She is also known as Sunshine. She smiles big and she loves even bigger. She is an advocate in many facets of life, mainly because she almost lost her life numerous times due to illness and abuse. But despite all of the obstacles, trials, and adversities, she views them as opportunities to look for the positive, learn, and grow. She believes the mind is where transformation begins and the magic happens. She is excited about being a co author of The Gifted, Overcoming Obstacles by Walking in Kingdom Authority, a bestseller, book collaboration. Celena knows that great things are happening and she's ready for her beauty for ashes. Listen, guys, I cannot hold this off any longer. So let's welcome to the show none other than Miss Celena Sunshine Thomas. Hey,
Thank
Celena.
thank
How are
you,
you
thank you.
doing today?
You did an amazing job on that. Thank you so much for that introduction.
Oh, you are welcome. I mean, it's just awesome. I mean, just for you to hear you and how awesome you are, right? Because sometimes I think we don't realize just all of the stuff that we actually do, right?
You're right about that. And
Hmm.
definitely wearing many, many hats.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so exciting. So you are known as yeah. So oh
I,
wait, go ahead. What you were gonna say?
oh no. I think I said carry many hats, but I meant wear. We carry and wear them. We're juggling because we're wearing them and carrying them and juggling them all at the same time. That's what women do.
Exactly. That is exactly what we do, right? Yes. We've somehow we've been oh gosh, what is the word? My mind is just like um but it's just ingrained in us, right? Like so that we are so accustomed to carrying, like a lot, like juggling many tasks and things like that.
Mhm.
But we need to slow down and we need to take frequent breaks. But sometimes we just gotta go because sometimes life happens, and sometimes, especially when you're an entrepreneur, right? And you get backed up and you like, hey, I got to hit the gas and keep going because I got to catch up on some things. But we can still put some things in place to make sure that we are taking care of us so we don't run completely out of steam. It
Correct.
will
Correct.
happen. Yeah. So
Mhm.
listen, I forgot to say, you told me about Rollo. What kind of dog is Rollo? You're a fur mom.
So I don't know if I'm a fur mom or not. Maybe I'm a fur grandmama. I don't know because he's not here anymore. He's gone to college too.
Oh,
So
wow.
he going to get an education.
Oh, my God. Rollo is something special, then, isn't he?
Yes, Rollo is at college and he is half lab, half weenie. And the weenie would be the dad.
Oh, my God.
Isn't
How
that interesting?
Yes. Wow.
Because
The weenie would think of that.
labs are not small dogs, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, that is really
Mhm.
amazing when you
So
put
yeah,
it
but
in that.
if you just saw him, you would definitely put him in the weenie dog family more so than the lab. But you can see the lab, but he has the body of a dachshund.
Okay, good deal. So, and I know you are very proud of your sons who are away at college and they are doing their things. I mean, Sean is pursuing a software engineering degree, and Joshua is in sports medicine, is pursuing
Mhm.
sports medicine. So, you must be one proud mama.
Girl, my pockets have lint. That's the only thing I can say. Lint left in my pockets.
But I think eventually that should pay off, though, right? That some of that you're putting out now should come back to you, hopefully.
They have to be part of my retirement because I don't have any. They have sucked it all, and then the dog is just like having a kid too. Vet bills, food, toys. You know, you see a toy, you get it for him. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is ridiculous.
So you're working for your fur baby or your fur grandbaby and your sons, pretty
Pretty
much.
much. Mhm.
So tell us, listen, you know, you have, as you've already mentioned, like many hats. You know, you're an entrepreneur, motivational speaker, life coach, influencer, content creator, even an officiant for weddings and other special events. Wow. So walk us through all of that. Tell
I'm
us.
like, girl, wait, hold up. We gotta go through this one at a time because I don't even know how I'm doing all of that.
Right. Exactly.
So officiating the weddings, you know, there's only one every so often. Sometimes people cancel, they go get other people. So that doesn't take up a whole lot of time. And then life coaching, we're still working on getting that part of the business up and going off of the ground. But I think a lot of us are life coaches and we don't even realize it. If you can
Mhm.
sit with an empathetic ear and listen to someone, keep it confidential, give them the best advice from a place of wisdom and love, you're a life coach.
Mhm.
Be a
Mhm.
life
Sure.
coach, helping people get through this thing called life.
Mhm.
And so we need one another. And I think I've just been doing it. Oh, Lord. I knew this was going to ring.
That's an interesting ringtone.
Um, that's because I could never hear it. I turned it off.
And that gets your attention, really, doesn't it? Right there, for sure.
Yeah, it does. It's the train is coming for sure.
But
So,
that may not be a big thing to know that the train is coming, right? Because it depends on what you're expecting on the train as it comes through.
mm-hmm,
Look at it from
mm-hmm.
that perspective. And so, by you being a life coach, right, and you know, wearing all these many hats, I'm sure the train is always coming with something, has a delivery for you, and something that you need to, you know, do. All right, because you have a long list of things that you're involved in at this current time. Yeah. And so you were talking about life coaching and how we all could be if we just a lot of us, right, or have that within us, right,
Mm-hmm.
to pour into others.
Pour into others, and then you put them in a place where they start pouring into others. Like it's
Mhm,
not just you, like I'm not going to come and talk to you and talk to you and not take what you're giving me and
mhm,
go and spreading that,
mhm,
because then, because we want what we do to make an impact on the masses.
mhm.
Yes, we're thankful if we just help one, but if that one can go help 10 and that 10 can go
Oh,
help, I mean,
sure.
if you just continue on. So it's like you're the leader and then you're creating other leaders. That way that you can continue to grow this kingdom.
Mhm.
So that's how I see it. Spread the love.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of spreading the love, you have a passion, right, for helping women and children, particularly those who've had some traumatic experiences. So, talk with us, if you will, about where that was, how that passion was born or ignited within you to say, "This is it. This is my calling."
let's see, was that born? I guess I
Or did you just kind of gravitated toward it?
you start out as the victim. You
Mhm,
start out as the victim. And I believe that most of the time, the people that you find that are in a mental health careers and social work careers and any type of career that is helping someone, a lot of those people have suffered at the hand of someone else and they're making it their life goal to help somebody else. Now,
mhm,
sometimes it's definitely your gift.
mhm,
Sometimes it's your career.
mhm,
Sometimes, you're just voluntold that this is what you're going to do. But for
mhm,
me, it started out as just being the victim first and living in a dark place for so very long. But I always smiled. Nobody knew. I
mhm,
mean, I shouldn't say nobody, very few knew. Um, but it was a long time before anybody knew. So you stay in that dark place way too long when you don't share.
mhm.
So, with that being said, my goal is to help young children know that they have a voice,
Oh, wow.
help
Yeah.
the older people understand that it's not too late to find their voice. And even in this walk of peeling back, I call it, peeling off the layers, just
Mhm,
peeling back that onion.
yeah.
Um, I stopped. I stopped. I was being free and I was like, listen, we're the voice of blah, 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 blah. And I was so enthusiastic. And then all of a sudden, I stopped. I still do conversations with Celena, but I was not transparent anymore. It was like, I locked it up. And I'm back at it now. So just know, and I share it with people that you're watching me become this person. So I'm not before anyone pretending that, oh, I have it together and I can do this for you. No,
Mhm.
we're doing it together. Like
Yeah.
we're learning this thing together, we're walking it out together. And you're going through this journey with me if you so choose. Like this is
Mhm.
an
Right.
invitation for you to
Mhm.
come go along this journey. My journey may not be interesting for you, and if you're not my person, that's okay.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I say the same thing all the time with me being in marriage and family therapy, um, being a marriage and family therapist. And so I say that all the time is that I can't be everybody's therapist and I may not be everybody's cup of tea, what you're looking for and what you want and what you hope to get. Everybody has their own way of doing things. And so I may not be that person's cup of tea, but I'll be willing if I can help you find that or figure out who
Yeah.
is your cup of tea or what it is that you want. And, if I can help in that regard, but I do understand that I can't provide that service to every single person. Right.
Mhm.
And I'm honest with myself. And I'm also honest with the person who sits across from me to say, if this is something I feel like I'm able to help you with or something that I'm not. And so one of the things that I've said before on the show is that, there's absolutely nothing wrong with a therapist having a therapist, because at the end of the day, I don't care how many degrees I have, what titles I have, what are what credentials I have.
You're
At
still
the end of the day,
human.
I'm still human, right? And
Mhm.
as humans, we come with feelings. We're equipped with feelings and emotions, and I'm not exempt from, experiencing the same thing that any other person would experience. I experience hurt, shame, disappointment, grief, loss. I experience all of those things. But the one thing that, that helps us, even though you may have some challenges or some things that you're still working on and that you're trying to grow through, you still have the ability or the power to be able to help somebody else in what it is, because someone is still back where you just came from, right?
Mhm.
And sometimes someone is still trying to go where you're trying to go, and you guys can link up together to be able to get to that place together. So, yeah, so don't count yourself out because things have happened to you. I've heard and seen people say a lot, broken crayons still color. I have a really good friend that says all the time that a broken mirror still reflects, right? It
Mhm.
still shines. And so, so that's to say that even though you are in the midst of whatever you may be in the midst of, or that you're still trying to get over whatever it is, there's still something that you're able to help somebody with if you're wanting to help somebody with. And God has given you the wisdom to be able to do that, the wisdom and the creative. Some of the wisest people I know are people who do not have degrees, right?
Mhm.
People who didn't, and that's not to discount us, because I have a degree, I have more than one degree, but I'm just saying that it's just not always, because sometimes, like you said, some people
Right.
have a gift. It's just a gift,
Mhm.
to be able to do this, to be able to do therapy. Some people are just gifted at being able to help people, overcome. Some people just do it, like you said, because my mom or my dad was a therapist, or I've been told that this was something that I have to do. It was a career that chose me. I didn't necessarily. So those types of things.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, for
Mhm.
sure. So listen, in your ministry, because this is the thing that I've been doing a lot with too, and just trying to really help women to, really feel empowered. Because what I'm discovering too is that there are a lot of women who are broken. There are a lot of women who are experiencing pain. There are a lot of women who are just dealing with a number of really difficult emotions, and not really knowing how. To express them, or really knowing how to release them, or how to be able to get the help or the support that they need. And so, one thing though that I really like, and what I try to incorporate as much as I can, is how we as women can come together to really help each other. We're designed to be helpers one to another. And so sometimes there's power in knowing that someone else, is going through or has gone through what you may be going through. Because sometimes when we're in the middle of something, we may be thinking that we're the only one that this is happening to. I don't know why I'm this way. I don't understand why I can't get a man, why I can't keep a man, or whatever the case may be. It's always something, right?
Yeah, but they are, honey. We love y'all though, man. And not trying to throw shade, but
It is
I'm
what it
on,
is.
I'm on a mission right now. So unless he ready to rock and roll with the mission, now if he ready to rock and roll with the mission, Lord, fix his GPS, because right now my GPS, his GPS is broken.
Mhm.
The one that's for me is what I was trying to say.
Right. I got you.
My future husband's GPS is broken. He's somewhere lost. You know, they
Yes.
said the GPS will take you through the hood. He
Oh
must be
yeah.
somewhere lost in the hood, out of gas, car broke
Mhm.
down. Just trying to make fun out of it, because we have to laugh.
Yeah, we do. Laughter
Mhm.
is good for the soul, and it's good medicine, right? Sometimes even I will talk with my clients if they're having a time where it's like I have a moment where I'm really sad. I'll say to them, "Well, what's your favorite TV show or movie or something that makes you laugh?" Right? Because you can't. It's hard to be, so to be able to lighten your mood, to change your thought pattern, because sometimes just like we change the channel on the TV, we have to change the channel up here, our thoughts, what we're thinking about. And so yeah, and so a lot of times laughter, the prescription of laughter, is a good one for when we're dealing with negative emotions or things that impact us, in that
Mhm.
type of way. So yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness. So this is, yeah. So, and I was saying that in reference to like the women and what it is that, like how we can help one another. Because you know what, so many times we hear that women just don't get along. Um, and that's not always the case. It just so happens that a lot of times can we do better? I do believe that we can do better.
We can definitely do better.
We can definitely do better, and we should do better. But I always try to, my goal is to bring out the positive and not really showcase all of like to showcase the negative. So in other words, I try to think more about what it is that people are actually doing in terms of making an impact, and as opposed to thinking about what they're not doing. And sometimes because we can get caught up in that, like if we have something that we want to do, or that we're trying to accomplish, and sometimes we get caught up in who's supporting us, right? And who's not supporting us. And mostly is, I can't believe she ain't supporting me. I always supported her, or I always did this or that. And so, but I try to get women to see, like, to move beyond that and not let that be your focus. Don't worry about the ones who are not, but stay focused on the ones who are, right? Because just like you said earlier, your assignments are your assignments. There are people that are out there that are waiting to hear your story, or that's right waiting to buy your product or your service or whatever it is. But sometimes we're stuck because we've got to figure out what our ideal audience is, who's our targeted audience. And so, yeah, so I try to think, okay, let's think along the lines of solutions rather than to think about the problems, because sometimes when we think about the problems, that's what keeps us stuck, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I think too is like our environment and the people that we're around, and a lot of times we're stuck in that environment. Therefore,
Mm-hmm.
we're stuck in that mindset. And so, as you were speaking on the not supporting and that sort of thing, I know that I want to celebrate the people that are supporting me,
Right.
and not shed light on the ones that's not. But if you're in the wrong company,
Mm-hmm.
they'll be in your ear. Well,
Oh
did
yeah.
she do this? Well, you was there for her. I can't believe that she's not there for you. Not realizing we're all busy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't be there all the time, but it doesn't mean that you're not a supporter. Because you
Right.
may be a supporter by sharing the information.
Mm-hmm.
You might be a supporter by praying for me, truly praying
Yes.
for me. So
Yes.
just because you don't see a person um, right there front and center does not
Mm-hmm.
mean they're not a supporter. So we
Yes.
have
So,
to
yeah.
step back sometime and get out of our own head, because this is where it really starts, in our
Mm-hmm.
head and in
Yeah.
our thoughts. And
Mm-hmm.
then we put it on somebody else, like this is what they're thinking or this is what they're doing. Honey, you need to worry about you and your mind over here and stop trying
Yeah.
to, you know, figure out what somebody else is thinking or doing, and just
Mm-hmm.
celebrate. And if they say they're your friend until they show you otherwise. And just because they didn't show up to your event,
Doesn't mean,
or
yeah.
it doesn't mean that they're not your friend. And we lose a lot of people over small things that we should not
Mm-hmm.
even be angry. Because, like we said before we started this live, hey, we prayed right before because we have so much happening in our own lives. And I
Yes.
have people who really think I'm upset with them because I haven't called them. Well, my take on it is the phone works both ways. Why are you waiting for me to call you? I actually have stuff going on over here, and maybe you could call and say, "You are right over there, sunshine," instead
Yes.
of be mad at me because you haven't called. So we just have to retrain our way of thinking and doing if we want to get to the next level. And so if you find yourself in that circle, that means you need to change your circle, because you're
Yeah.
not going to go up if you're with those type of people.
Yeah.
We're not talking about them, but you got to be able to want to go, because we're moving forward. So if you don't want to go forward, I'm sorry, baby girl, we're gonna have to leave you behind, because this train got to keep on moving.
Yeah, exactly right. And I'm glad that you said that, because it's something that needs to be said, to put out there, because sometimes we do think, and I'm guilty of that. And I thought one day, I was like, man, I owe people lunch dates. I owe, like and I'm gonna make good on that. But at the same time, I have to prioritize, because number one, I'm 100% entrepreneur, right? Like, I'm self-employed all day, every day. And if I don't work, I don't get paid. And I know what my bills are like. And I know that that the people who are waiting for me to go to lunch with them or to call, you're not going to be. So I have to prioritize what it is. And then sometimes I have to shut it off, because sometimes people will call and you want to talk right then, or you need a favor. But hey, my profession is I'm talking, like, to people a lot, because I'm helping people. And that's really that can be really heavy sometimes. And so I have to have my own ways to be able to escape. I
Mhm.
realize that I can't be everywhere at the same time. I wasn't designed that way. That's God, not me. I can't be everywhere at the same. I can't know everything. And so I'm good with just being able to relinquish things that just are not in my control. And even sometimes things that are in my control, I still have to let it go sometimes too. And I think that's a part of that self-awareness, knowing how much you can take on, how much you can do. It's all a part about taking care of you, because at the end of the day, if you can't do what you need to do for yourself and ultimately for your
How you
business and for
help
your
somebody?
family,
Yes.
right? So
Mm,
yeah,
you're
so I
right.
think that's important to to put that out there, because just because people don't, and when people do support in the way that they support, I always try to make sure that I give them, like I say, let them know how much I appreciate what they did, no matter if you're the one who bought the ticket and came to the event, or if you're the one that shared or said the prayer, or reached out to me to encourage me, whatever it is that you did. Like, I appreciate it, because it still showed that you played a part in helping to uplift me and to push the event or whatever it is that I have going on. And so I really
Mhm.
I appreciate that. Like, I still have, I know people, I still got to go out here and say, I did the WOW symposium. I didn't do it, but we all came together, some bad chicks, and we did the WOW Women of Worth symposium, and I'm grateful for the opportunity. And so I still, people, I'm just still so overjoyed and so overwhelmed by the graciousness of people, women who were willing to support this, and not only women, but there were some men who also got behind and supported and pushed the event. So so it's good when you have people like that, and you want to recognize them and not focus on the ones who didn't do. Because and then sometimes you never know why the person didn't do. Maybe they wanted to but couldn't.
But couldn't, that's like when you say the prayer at church, they say, bless the ones that desire to be here and
Right.
weren't able to be
Hmm.
here, because we got to get out of our feelings.
Hmm.
We have these sayings, and we really do get caught up. Like, I'm in my feelings. So I was feeling some type of way. Well, I need you to stop feeling some type of way. We shouldn't be operating from feelings, because if so, we're gonna be on a roller coaster ride every single day.
Hmm.
If you're just doing a feeling, oh, I'm up, I'm down, they showed up, they didn't show up. And
Right.
so, um, it's a growing process.
It is a growing process.
It is, and we're learning along this journey, because I know when I started out, I wasn't worried about the numbers of who was coming and who was following and who was watching. And then something shifted, and I started looking at the numbers. Then I realized I was getting discouraged, and I said, "You weren't supposed to be doing it for that anyway. So stop looking at that and just show up and do what you're doing, and stop whining and complaining
The
about it."
mission.
Yeah.
Yes, the mission. But it's so easy to do if you're not careful, because it's because it's what we see. If you're really active, it's like, if we don't make the numbers, then we're not successful. But who said that? Like, because you can have all these numbers, I can get 1,000 views, or 1,000 people see a commercial, but 1,000 people still didn't buy a ticket. So or I can get where I only had 23 views or 40 views, but then I got more, bang for my buck out of the 23 or 40 people. But it's not about that. It's about the mission. But it's easy to get caught up in the numbers. But
Mhm.
you have to go back and think about, like, what is the mission and what am I doing it for? Because if you're doing it out of the goodness of your heart, then you'll be blessed. You'll get a return for what it is that you're doing, especially if you're doing it from your heart. Now, if you're just doing it solely from, because I'm just trying to make some money right quick, some reels, then yes, then those numbers are going to be important to you, because you need to be able to, you're trying to make a certain amount. But if you're saying that this is ministry for me, then it hits different. It just does. So
Mhm.
yep.
Yeah, even earlier today, like, I talk about the comparison trap a lot. And so I don't want anyone to get it twisted and think that because we're sitting here behind the camera that we don't have emotions, like she said, the feelings, the grief, all
Yeah.
of the same things
Yeah.
that other people go through. So today, the very one that's always talking about don't get caught up in a comparison trap, for some reason, like, it was a little bit more than a split second, but not even 10 seconds, because I got rid of it quickly, because I said, there's so many talk shows out there now. maybe I don't even need to keep going forward with this. And I don't even know why that thought came up in my mind, because it doesn't matter how saturated the market is. There's only one me, and I have an assignment, and I have people who are waiting for me to share my testimony, to hear my voice, because you have people that can receive things from you, and I have people that can receive things from me. And so we're out here doing exactly what we're supposed to do. And it doesn't mean that those thoughts are not going to come, but
Yeah.
it's how you respond to them. And I want to be in a position where I learn how to pause, because there's power in that pause versus reacting. I
Mhm.
don't want to react any longer. I reacted too often on my children, not even thinking, just blowing up over stuff. And now I'm trying to stop saying trying. I am taking a moment, taking a step back, and then just trying to respond to it. Hopefully, be proactive. But if I have to respond, I respond wisely and not just reacting irrational about something. So, just I wanted to share that, because today I really did. I said, it's so many talk shows and radio shows, and I
But
said,
they're
let's.
not conversations with Celena, and
I
they're
know.
not wow, wish only well, right? So you hit the nail on the head. But it is easy for to get out there. But let me just say this, and then we're out of time. But let me say this: there's also a lot of different wines. Is there not? I could just think about walking in a grocery store and just and wine came to me. I was thinking about tater chips, but then I was thinking about how it was just overwhelmed with all the number of wines that were actually on the shelf. And so, but that doesn't stop people from doing it, right? And so, yeah, so no one does conversations with Celena like Celena Thomas, right? No one does Wow Wish Only Well TV like SherVonne Grose. And so, I have the people who are, interested. If I may not have tens of follower 10,000 followers or whatever, but that's okay. I want to make sure that I'm impacting people with what God has given me. If this is the assignment for this time, then I know that the people who I meant to minister to, they're out there and they're waiting for 7 p.m. on Wednesday so that they can watch Wow Wish on the Well TV, just like they're waiting when Celena hits the live button and have those conversations. So, Celena, I just want to thank you so much for coming and being a guest here on Wow
I
Wish on the
enjoyed
Well
our
TV.
conversation.
I enjoyed our conversation too. We definitely have to do this again next time. I know that you and I had a lot going on today, this whole week, but God is still good and He will never leave us or forsake us. So when we can't do it in our own strength, which we never want to really anyway,
And then
we
I don't even feel tired and overwhelmed. Once we hit the go live button and we get to talking, it's like it gives me life. I enjoy it.
because it's our ministry, it's our assignment, and it's what we're meant to do. And you know what? I thought about it because I told you that I was just about to call you and say, "Girl, I'm gonna have to just do a rerun because I'm exhausted." But listen, I am up, awake, I'm ready. Like I got a second win now. But this is because we needed a break from what it was that we were doing anyway, right?
Mhm.
To just breathe and do what it is. And so out of our business, we took time out of our schedule to pour into the people who are watching right now and the people
Yeah.
who will watch later on. I guarantee you we've said something to inspire and motivate someone. So again, thank you so much, Celena. Listen, tell the viewers how to follow you as we get ready to get out of here.
It's simple. It's Conversations with Celena, and it's on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. It's also on Amazon, Spotify, all those social media networks. The
Awesome.
only thing that's different is Twitch. Twitch doesn't allow you such a long one, so it's like
Mhm.
combo with Celena on Twitter. On
Okay.
Twitter, combo.
Okay.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, you heard Miss Celena Thomas of Conversations with Celena right here on Wow, Wish Only Well Live TV with your fantabulous host, SherVonne Grose, marriage and family
Thank
therapist,
you.
inspirational coach, and motivational speaker. Listen, guys, if you haven't already registered, join me for Couch and Conversation, a virtual group therapy. And this is for women only. So listen, go now to Eventbrite and get registered. As we get out of here, guys, you know what we do. We wish only well. So have a good rest of your day, evening, wherever you are in this world, and enjoy the rest of your week. That's it for now. See you guys next week. Bye bye.
Bye.